Hi everyone, Diane here. Welcome to my studio. Hope everyone's well and ready for an interesting and hopefully enjoyable video. Today I'm going to be looking at something a little bit different. We're going to be looking at colour mainly, as well as plants, and trying something which is actually very low pressure. And when I started to do this, I thought to myself, yes, you know, I could really enjoy this. This is something that takes away all the pressure from painting. And aren't you intrigued to wonder, to know why I would think that? Well, it goes like this, okay? A few months ago, maybe a year ago, I heard about the Colour Cube by Sarah Renee Clark. And you all know about that because Denise Love has been featuring it constantly on her videos for about a year now, at least. So there's that, and other people have talked about it too. But to my mind, that doesn't suit my kind of way of painting. It kind of goes about it from the wrong way round for me. And then the other day, though, as well as that, I heard about a book, which I don't have a copy of, but I have seen a review of it on Art Book Nook, which is called Colour In and Out of the Garden. And a couple of other people on here who do art have talked about it. Now, it's not an art book per se, and I'm hoping at this point that a picture of some shots from it will come up on the screen for you to see. Well, it's not an art book per se, although there's a section at the back about painting, but it's actually about colour. And the lady who wrote it, who's called Lorraine Edwards Faulkner, is basically encouraging people to look more closely at colour and to try to understand what it means and to actually get inside colour and create better paintings as a result, as well as making yourself more relaxed and happy. So I thought, well, this all sounds very interesting. I haven't bought the book, but I would highly recommend, if you want to have a look inside it, as I said, go and have a look on Kay's channel on Art Book Nook, and she goes through it page by page, literally from the beginning to the end. So you can see exactly what's in it, and if it floats your boat, you might want to buy a copy of it. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to reproduce some of the photos that she has got in that book myself. And I'm going to do that by, I'm going to just move my stuff out of the way. The palette is going to have to go to the side here. You can see these are the plants I'm going to use. I'm going to use Hydrangea, which has gone over and is starting to fade to some absolutely beautiful soft autumn colours. I've got a little sprig of Fuchsia here, which is really pretty and has some lovely colours in it. And I've also got a little sprig of Spiraea, which is one of our favourite plants because in the autumn all the leaves go red like that. So you can see there's lots of colours in these plants, although when you look at them just quickly, they look rather dull. They actually aren't. So I'm going to pop those just there for a minute, move that out of the way, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. Now, if you've looked at the book or if you've gone to Art Book Nook to check it out, you will know that she creates things like this. She has got a square, which is photographed, which has got 9 different colours in it. And then the actual, I don't think that's blood, I think that's paint. She's got the actual flower on top that those colours are in. And you can see here what I've done is I've looked at this rose and I've picked out all the different shades of pink and green and the sort of brownish colour that are in it. And that's what we've created. I also did the same thing for lavender here. It's got a bit squashed because I put something on top of it and it's kind of been pressed. But those are the colours that I found in the lavender. So I've tried that out. And at the end of the video, you'll see me doing this one because I did that one first when I was just trying it all out to see if I could actually do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to match these colours. Now, that sounds difficult, I know. That does sound hard, but actually it isn't. It really isn't. And you see, the reason why this is exciting to me, apart from the fact I've now got paint on the end of my brush, is because you can have tremendous fun mixing the colours to match the flower, but you haven't got to worry about painting the blessed thing. You can just paint squares of colour. Now, how good is that? I think that's just fantastic. I got quite excited by the whole idea. So I made myself some rectangles of watercolor paper. This is just, this is Etival, Clairefontaine. It could be any 140-pound watercolor paper. This is just cellulose. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. And then I made myself a grid like this. And I'm not going to show you how to do that because it's very simple. You just draw the squares using a ruler and then cut out the pieces, which are like this, obviously, with a sharp X-Acto knife. And then you can speed up your whole process because you could do a whole book of this, you know, using those rings like we did before. Do you remember? I made these little swatches using these binder rings that you can buy really inexpensively. Well, you could make a whole set of these and then you'd have your own color cube. That's what brings me back to the color cube idea, that you can create your own palettes of colors that go well together. Now, the whole point of this, the beauty of this, you see, is that take away that and now you've got this. People have asked about how do you decide what colors to put in a bouquet if you're going to construct a bouquet of flowers and you want to paint one and you don't know what colors to put there. Well, if you take a flower like that rose and you extract all these colors from that, then you can use these colors to do a harmonious composition for your bouquet that you're going to do, perhaps from imagination or perhaps, you know, just, well, from imagination, really, I suppose. Or you might want to look at an example of a bouquet and change the colors, and you can use your color palette that you have created for yourself. You can see how excited I am by this whole concept, can't you? So let's get started on the paper, on the painting. Preparing the paper, actually. We need a nice sharp pencil. A HB would be fine. Sharpen that. And then I'm going to sit down and use my template to just very lightly, just let the pencil very lightly go round the squares. And that will give me the guide for putting my colours down. Just hold it with your fingers. And I've left enough space at the bottom here so that you can write down the colours that you use to make your mixtures from. And you can also put other details, what kind of flower it was, what kind of plant, when you did it, anything of note that you might want to say about it. So there we are, we've got our 9 boxes. And so then we're going to go, I think we'll start, let's start with the fuchsia, which I think you can see. And you don't need to worry about drawing it, and you don't need to worry about painting it so it looks like a fuchsia. You're just looking at it for the pure color. How liberating is that, eh? How liberating is that? I just need some water, and I need my towel, my Aran towel, and I need a brush. I'm going to use a Draw Well round number 8. This is, could be anything, just not too big, not too small. So now I'm going to look on my set of paints here, and what I have here is the Botanical Michael Harding set. And I'm going to start with Quinacridone Rose, and I'm going to hope, and I think, bingo, that is pretty much what I'm seeing there. I could add a tiny smidgen of Quinacridone Purple to that to just darken it down a little bit. And then I'm going to paint my first square. So there we are. We don't have to be too fanatical about, you know, keeping within the lines and everything. So then I need to look again and see what other colours I can see. And here, I know this is kind of creamy white, but here we have a more of a pink. So we might want to take a little bit of shell pink, which is a Holbein colour, a little bit of shell pink there as the base, And then I'm going to build that up until I come to a nice pink. And we'll pop that there. So that's Shell Pink from Holbein mixed with Quinacridone Rose from Michael Harding. These colours are available in other sets as well, so, you know, you don't have to worry about having exactly the same paints as me. And then the stamens here, they are also pink, but they're a little bit more orangey. And I'm not sure if you can really see this on the camera or not, but so I'm going to pick up some Quinacridone Gold and mix that with the Quinacridone Rose just to get a nice orangey red there. And I'm going to put that here. And then after that, because I don't think we need bother too much with the white, we're going to go down to the leaves, and we have a pretty dark green. So I'm going to go to Perylene Green, which is a little bit too blue. So we'll add a bit of yellow to that. That's cadmium yellow. And I think that's probably okay for one of the greens anyway. So we'll pop that in there. Okay, so you can see that's okay. And then if you look a little bit harder, you can see there is a lighter, and then there's some beige, and there's a darker splodge there of I don't know what. So let's go to sap green light. No, actually we'll go to green gold, and we'll put some green gold in here because that's pretty much the lighter green. And then underneath the leaves, that's a much more greyish kind of green. So we'll take a little bit of ultramarine blue and mix that with the green. So we have a grey green. And we can put that here. And you will learn so much about colour from doing this. And you'll learn, if you practice this using flowers, or you don't have to use flowers, you can use rocks, you can use anything you see in your house. It doesn't matter what you use. And here we've got a kind of orangey, probably a bit of fungus growing on there. So we'll go with, how can we mix that? I think that's a bit of a pinky green. So it's coming towards brown. Yeah, I think that's probably something like that. So we'll pop that in there. And the stem, don't forget the stem, Diane, is going to be a reddish. Definitely we're going back to the red of the, yeah, that's pretty much exactly it. So that's a mixture of the Perylene green and red, and that's going to give us a nice reddish brown. And then we've probably got something even darker here. So we could go to a little bit more Perylene green and do that to give us a lovely grey for the shadowy areas. So now we have a colour card with 9 interrelated colours on it that all go together. They would make a spectacular bouquet if you use that idea for your flowers that you're going to design. And it's all based around this little humble little fuchsia sprig. So we'll put that over there, and later on we'll take a photograph with that sitting on top of that. But but you can see already how sweet that is going to look. So I'll pop that over there, and I've got 2 more to do for you. And we'll take another piece of card. Honestly, I do think taking away the pressure of having to make something look like something, all you're doing is drawing squares and filling those squares with color. And honestly, it's a real thrill to make something beautiful because they photograph so well. Zen, non. Zen. Viens, couche-toi. Okay, that's our next one. And we are going to go to the Spiraea, which is absolutely glorious. Look at that. Look at the lovely darks here, really dark purpley color, and these lovely reddish orangey greens and the pink, beautiful pale pink in the flower. So I sort of have developed a kind of system whereby I start with the flower, and I'm going to go straight for this shade here, just make that a little bit paler. Maybe I'll add a little bit of soft white to it. And yeah, that's about right. Then we're going to pop that in for the tiny little flowers. And then the center of these flowers is darker. And so I think we're looking at something like this. There we are. And then what else have we got here? This is a kind of little bit brownish or grayish. So I think I'm going to nip over to my ultramarine blue for the gray and mix that with this pink. Yeah, so we'll do that. Okay, so that's the colours in the flower. You can see that there. Now we need to go to the leaves, and the leaves have got brown veins in them, but they're quite, I think they're pretty much gold green, so they're pretty much like that, straight out the palette, and maybe with a little bit more yellow in. Yeah, let's go with that. So that's gold green with a little bit of cadmium yellow. And then the veins are brownish red. So something like that. Yeah, pretty much something like that. So that is quinacridone rose and perylene green. Really, and then we've got these dark things here which look like a really dark purple. So we'll pick up some really dark purple there, and to make that darker, we'll add the perylene green as well. So that's going to give us this really striking, almost black color. Okay, and then over here we've got this beautiful autumn glow thing going on there. So immediately I think autumn, I have to go to quinacridone gold. So I'll pick up some of that. But it has a bit of red in it, and I think it's more of the orangey red, like that. So we'll pop that there. A little bit more red, maybe a little bit of that red in it. And then a bit of blue. To make it, yeah, a bit more quinacridone. Did I say blue? What I think I meant, I don't know. You'll have to look and see which one I picked up because I can't remember now. And then more red. So we'll add a bit more red to that for the last color, which is this color here. So it's very bright, very varied autumn colors there. And you wouldn't imagine that, would you, until you've looked at this really, really closely, that they are all in there like that. So we'll stick that over there. And then the last one that we're going to do today is the Hydrangea, which has been drying out nicely. And this is so pretty because it's got such lovely soft greens and things in it, and still got some of its blues, very, very pale. This one is going to be completely the opposite to this bright one here. So I'll just move those well away so they don't spoil. I think that one's dry by now. Okay, so let's do our grid. You could do this in a sketchbook, of course, if you wanted to. You could get a special sketchbook for all of your color combinations, or just make these cards and then put them into you could put them into a card file, or just put rings in them. You could put them here if you wanted to. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So we've got this pale. I think I'm just going to clean a bit of space here for my mixtures, because this one is a completely different color from the ones we've just done, which are very on the red side. This one is much more on the blue side, so I'll just wipe off some of this paint. And turn this round to the blues and greens. So what have we got here? This looks like a cerulean blue, I think. So I'm just going to see if I can pick some of that up. Yeah, I think that is cerulean with a bit of ultramarine in it. Actually, there's lots of colours there. There's going to be more colours than we can actually fit on our 9 grid of 9, I think, but we can make a start. So that's cerulean with a tiny touch of ultramarine. And then we have a mauve there. So cerulean with a little bit of mauve. Something like this. Quinacridone purple and cerulean blue. And then we've got, it's quite pinkish. So we can go down here to the alizarin crimson. Yeah, alizarin crimson. That's pretty much it. So alizarin with quinacridone purple and cerulean to give us this kind of colour there. And then we need some soft greens. So this is Shadow Green from Holbein. And I think that's pretty close, actually. I'm going to use that as it is. So that's kind of this kind of green. So some of them are much more yellowish though. So we add some yellow gold green or green gold to the shadow green. And we'll have this green. And you shouldn't, while you're doing this, be thinking about how making this square look really nice. You should be thinking about literally just colouring the squares in using the colours that you see. And like I said, there are more colours here than 9. So I'm going to go for this one here, which is basically, I would say that was like, I need to clean that a little bit. This is soft white or warm white from Michael Harding with a little bit of raw umber. Okay. And a tiny bit of yellow. Yeah, a cool yellow, so a lemon. If I can find, have I got a lemon yellow here anywhere? I should have. That will do, I think. There we go. That's what we needed. So that's this colour here. And we've got some really dead ones in there, so we could go for a nice rusty brown. So back to our trusty quinacridone gold. And put that here with a bit of raw umber. That'll give us a nice dead brown colour. And then we've got these leaves here, which are, one of the most useful colours for leaves is this perylene green here, which we have. I'm going to mix that with that quinacridone, a bit more quinacridone, just to give it a bit more warmth. Because it's quite a cold green. And then the stem colour is a light green, so let's go for Hooker's green, mixed with a bit of warm white, or soft white, whatever that is called, and a bit of quinacridone. And that's going to give us a very soft light green for the stem. So you can see that's this colour here. So there we are. That is that one. So we have created ourselves a wonderful panoply of colour cards here. And there's an ant wandering across there. So what I need to do now is to write underneath here which colours I used, what kind of flower I was using as my inspiration. That was this one. And then we'll take, and that was this one, and we'll take some photographs. And you'll see those at the end of the video after I finished showing you me painting that one as well, which is a bonus. So what we need here is just a little sprig of this, really, don't we? We don't need the whole thing. That and a leaf. So there we are. I hope you enjoyed that. I did. It's a tremendous, what's the word? not exactly relief, but it is very exciting to just be able to think about the colours, to just mix the colours that you are seeing and just literally put those colours down on a piece of paper and enjoy them for the sake of the colour and not worry about reproducing the flower itself. That can come next. Once you've done this and you know what colours you're looking for, you can then paint away to your heart's content using those colours. And, you know, that's one thing less to be concerned about. And if you want to put together a bouquet that's got this in it and other things as well, for example, there you are. You've got your harmonious set of colours that are going to go together because they're all already in that beautiful plant that you are knowing and loving so well. So enjoy the next couple of minutes where we're going to play you some music and show you me painting this one. And I'll see you again soon. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe, turn on notifications, and watch right to the end, please. If you've come this far, you might as well go ahead to the end. So I shall see you again here soon, and take care, everyone. Have fun, enjoy, paint a lot, and keep well. I'll say bye for now, everybody. Bye-bye.